So we launched this tool called the Trigger Tracker. And the whole goal of it is for you to really get in touch with yourself and identify what is it that triggers you? What is it that really grinds your gears, that gets you going, that gets you ticked off, and that has you ultimately losing your cool, embarrassing yourself, losing your temper, and showing up as less than the woman you say you are, right? It's not about living up to this like ideal version of what society thinks is great or what your mom thinks is great, another topic for another day, or what anybody else for that matter thinks is great. It's ultimately about coming up and visualizing who is the best version of you and then how do I strive to be that? And so what the trigger tracker seeks to do is help you identify what is triggering you, when is that triggering you, and what might that actually be revealing about you. Notice how the key word in this is you. And that's because at the end of the day, you can't change anyone or pretty much anything other than yourself. And the more you can own and sit in that truth, the more you're going to be astounded by how much you can grow. Because when you stop trying to change everyone else, your parents, your siblings, that man, whoever, the person you may be seeking to change, um, the sooner you let that notion go that you can ultimately do that, the more you will start to realize I can just focus on me. And though that fact is hard to accept, it may even hurt a little, it's empowering to realize I can focus on me and ensure that I am great alone, ensure that I am enough by myself, and ensure that I can stand on my own 2 feet and be proud of the woman that I am becoming. And I love that whole train of thought because the reality is, as women, particularly women of color, we're always evolving and learning and growing. And so it is okay to be a year better off a year from now. Ultimately, who wants to stay stagnant and be in the same place and never grow? I know I don't. And so the trigger tracker is going to help you to figure out what is it that's kind of pissing you off and what does that underlying reason reveal about you. So moment of truth, dun 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 dun. I get easily triggered by chaos and mess. So let there be a mess on my dining room table or on the sink in the bathroom where I get ready. If that area is a mess or chaotic, I tend to feel stressed, my anxiety rises, and I tend to lash out on the person I love the most who is nearest to me, which is my lovely partner of the last 13 years. But bless his soul, like he gets the heat because that is something for me that brings up chaos, disorganization, and makes it hard for me to function. And so one day, Mama Bear kind of unleashed on him and had to get in her humble bag and apologize. And it was kind of through the trigger tracker that I realized, okay, yes, I got upset because the area was messy and he didn't tidy it up, right? But what does that ultimately reveal about me? Because at the end of the day, who's going to change somebody else by fussing at them? Nobody. Never worked for me, isn't going to work for anyone else, right? But what can I do to change me? I can reflect on why that is so frustrating for me. And what it ultimately revealed about me was that I definitely have an inclination to control things. I like things in an orderly fashion because it's neat and I can find things and I can control things and I can control time and I can be places on time and do what I need to do on time. Because in my head, if I am not on time because I can't find things, then like the whole day is out of whack and gets problematic and chaos ensues. And so, because of this high level of need to control, I can then, when feeling in chaos, lash out at the people I love the most. And that is so backwards, right? Because ultimately that actually creates chaos. That actually creates dissension and tension in my home. And so I think while I wish I could have saved my husband the episode of Your Wife Loses It today, um, it was powerful for me because one, it reminded me like, hey, I'm not above using this tool either, right? I'm still human and I most definitely still get frustrated, but also that as I'm becoming this best version of myself, I can learn and grow and continue to figure out how to refine and better my communication strategies. So I say all of that to say, check this trigger tracker out, download it, and keep it handy because it's not one of those things that you might need in the exact moment, right? You might not be frustrated, but a couple of days later, when someone cuts you off on the highway and it just has you in a tizzy, it might be that moment that you need to fill it out, um, and really assess what's the deeper meaning. Or when you lose it on said child because you've been sitting at the homework table for 2 hours and they still don't know what 5 plus 3 is, right? Why are you really mad? Yes, because you've counted a bunch of apples, but beyond that, right? What's the underlying reason? Because the more we better understand ourselves, the more we can master ourselves and strive to get to that best version. So I hope that you all check it out. I hope that you comment, like, and subscribe, and let us know what is your interaction with the tool. How does it feel really thinking about and processing deep feelings? And now that you're more aware of your triggers, are you actually able to better slow down in the moment and stop and think before you react and, quote unquote, embarrass yourself? It is always easier said than done, but we are here doing the work alongside you, and we can't wait to hear all about it.